true legend. He has made the Statue of Liberty disappear, walked through the Great Wall of China, and has always made the impossible somehow seem possible. You know and love this household name. Please welcome to DBL the legendary magician, David Copperfield.
Yes.
We are so ecstatic to have you here. We also have your incredible book. But David, if a magician never reveals his secrets, I gotta know, how did you yourself learn magic, especially because before the internet, I mean, now you can just Google a trick, you can YouTube it. There was none of that ever existed. So what did you do?
Well, I started as a ventriloquist, as your producer Bert Brown knows, by idolizing a guy named Paul Winchell, who was our mutual hero. And I really was bad as a ventriloquist, so I started doing magic. And I found a shop that I recreated here called Tannins in New York.
Wow.
And I went to the shop that I've kind of recreated in this location here, and fell in love. This is a place where you come and you see Orson Welles working on magic, and Johnny Carson working on magic, or J.J. Abrams. In fact, he has a whole TED talk about the mystery box and going to this exact store as a kid, and how it informed his storytelling, and Star Wars and all that. It all began with the passion for this amazing art that magic is.
And how old were you at the time?
I was about 8 years old, but I was, I was bad at everything else, including ventriloquism. But magic I was good at. I invented new magic, and I invented my first illusion when I was a kid. I was 12 years old, and that illusion ended up being in a very important series of books called The Tarbell Course in Magic, which is a whole bunch. So my trick called Mento Pen, there I am as a ventriloquist. See, you can tell I was a bad ventriloquist just from that shot. But that's my Jerry Mahoney dummy.
Wow.
And right in front of my house. And that spot is where the bus would come from New Jersey, right in that spot. And you'd go to New York. And my parents let me go to New York as a kid, even though New York was this crazy crime place at that time. It's gotten a lot better, thankfully, but they let me go. And I went to the magic shop, and I went to all the Broadway shows, and had a passion for both storytelling and magic, and that's what I do.
Wow.
David, your aura, just like the way you talk, is very I feel like you're doing something on me right now. I don't even know, it's just like your aura.
Captivating.
It's wonderful. All right, so you've got your own.
Thank you. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
And he hasn't aged.
I know. Something that you're just standing there, and I'm drawn in. Like the way, I got to work on that, my presence.
And what skincare cream is he using?
I don't know. He's got a lot of secrets. Okay. So speaking of secrets, you got your own secret museum, which isn't public, but like you mentioned, our EP, Bert, has been there. Will it ever be open to the public, David?
We do exhibitions outside of the museum. I take these artifacts and I'll do displays in New York museums, all over the world. But the book, actually, because I can't do tours for the public in this museum because there's so many secrets involved, that we wrote this book. And this book is right there, is an amazing book that gives people a personal tour of the museum. And it's an amazing, I'm going to pitch it now. It's an amazing coffee table book, great Christmas gift. Buy 10, give it to your family. It's great. And they're really, really proud. Beautiful pictures in it, and amazing stories of the great masters that came before me.
I love the idea that you're just curating how to share it, because that space is so sacred. It's like you have to protect that energy. People bring in a lot of energy. You got to keep that protected. So you said magic was the way of communicating and being accepted. Would you consider yourself to be an introvert?
I think, all of us are looking for a way to express ourselves. We all have that need to feel special and to communicate. Magic was my way. Magic was the thing that in school, when the baseball wasn't that great. I wasn't horrible. Wasn't that great. The soccer, not that great. But I did magic, and kids said, oh, okay, you're pretty cool. So it was a motivation for me to keep going. And a lot of people in this book actually came from very simple beginnings and had to use magic as a way of fitting in and being accepted. And we all find our path. Sometimes it's sports for some people, but like all you really beautiful people on the panel there, handsome and beautiful people, you found a way of communicating, right? That's why Bert Dubrow, has you working there, right? Because you're able to communicate your aura. Magic was my way because, it was just my way of doing it. It's a way of fitting in.
So you're kind of like a rare person these days, and because everything's so transparent. You keep things really private. Is that why you needed a private island to control that energy and make sure that you can continue like being, you know, a little bit more to yourself?
Well, actually, we share it. You know, we have guests there right now. We charter it out. I create amazing experiences. Look at that on the sandbar, a lunch on a sandbar. It's an amazing place that we charter for one group at a time. And it's called Musha Key in the islands of Copperfield Bay. And we do treasure hunts, we do James Bond experiences. If you were a magician and were to have 11 islands, what would you do? And I really created, it's an amazing palette to kind of do my paintings, you know, my storytelling paintings live for people. And it's an amazing opportunity for me.
Goodness. We've got Bert Dubrow here in studio, and Bert, we're going to organize a little group vacation to his island, right, Bert? Bert's shaking his head.
We can't afford it.
Oh, we can't afford it. Darn. Okay. David, we do have to go to break. To the viewers out there, stick around, because when we come back, David has some magic in store for us. Welcome back, and we are here with David Copperfield, a.k.a. the greatest and most successful magician in the world.
Yes.
Now, you have a question.
Yeah, and I have to, you know, you've been performing for 50 years, and you do 15 shows a week. I really thought when I read that you were going to say a year. 15 a week. So you've clearly reached success beyond anybody's imagination. So why are you still doing this? Why are you on our show right now? Now that I'm happy you are. I just don't know.
He doesn't need
I would be on my private island saying miss me with all your calls, but he's here. So why are you still doing this?
I like it.
That's awesome. It's simple. Yeah.
Passion.
I enjoy what I do. I'm very lucky, you know. Preparing new and creating new illusions takes a lot of work, and it's not that easy. But performing, doing shows, is kind of a joy. You watch people really happy to be there. They really need to be amazed. And today we really need to dream and think about possibilities, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy it. So that's why I do 2 shows every night and 3 shows on Saturday, no days off, and then I have 10 weeks off a year, which I go to the islands to kind of hang out and create new things. So
I love that.
I like
they say when you love what you do, it's not a job. So there you go. And speaking of your,
that's not how it goes at all.
that's not how it goes.
You don't work a day in your life or something like that.
Well,
you got
he
the
knows
gist
what
of
I
it.
meant. David understood exactly what I meant. And David, you mentioned.
I got your back.
Oh, he does have my back. There you go. So David, you mentioned your book being a really good coffee table book. I'm a sucker for coffee table books. I just want our viewers to know how heavy this is and big. It's a really great book. Stop it, Alex.
And affordable.
Yes. Okay. Let's get back to your book, David Copperfield's History of Magic. You bring us into a world of illusion. What were you most excited to show your readers about your very secretive world?
It's an amazing amount of lives and stories. All of these ladies and gentlemen who perform magic have amazing stories that you can really relate to. And besides having, you know, tons of incredible pictures of the museum in there, there is incredible stories about the trials and tribulations that people can really see themselves in. So it's not just a secret world that also is something that people can really get a lot out of, and a lot of inspiration in that book.
Well, of course, you obviously have been influenced by other people like ventriloquists like Paul Winchell to magicians like John Mulholland. So who would you say have you been your biggest idols?
You know, mostly we talk about my idols being Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire and Frank Sinatra and Walt Disney and filmmakers, because that really led my career in the direction it is, which is storytelling and magic and emotion. Frank Capra, I got to collaborate with Frank Capra, who did It's a Wonderful Life on the Statue of Liberty Vanish. I worked with Francis Ford Coppola on the Broadway show that we did. But as far as magicians goes, they say you stand on the shoulders of giants. And there's a guy named Channing Pollock, who I admired very much, who was elegant and handsome and was able to do effortless sleight of hand. A guy named Robert Houdin, who Houdini took his name from, invented a lot of magic. And I possess most of his things here in the museum. And he invented the first smart home. When you go to a grocery store and the door opens up mechanically, we take it for granted. But that was a magic effect. That was a magic trick at the time. And he did it as a thing. And now it's in every grocery store. So I think robots and technology came from magic, automatons. And so much of magic has influenced popular culture, but also art and science and innovation. So very proud of it.
David, we know you're a busy guy. Is there anything you could show us before we let you go?
A little magic?
Free show.
Yes, I'm going to blow your mind.
All right.
I'm going to blow your mind right now. This blows my mind because when I was a kid, I couldn't afford this. This is something I could not afford, and it comes from a magic shop like this. Empty tube, and a little tray here. Put this like this. I need that little flower there. Nice. We have a natural, normal flower. Oh my God.
Oh, is that for me?
It is for you. You have to share.
Oh, yes, I always share, right, boys and Erica?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Everything's like kind of
It's very
weird underlining tone
it was
around
weird
here,
with the
David.
book and then the flowers just put over the top.
Okay, David, you'll have
Look
to
at,
come.
see that look? See that look?
I know. Look,
We're all hypnotized.
my favorite rest.
he's piercing our souls as we speak. David, thank you so much. It was such an honor to have you on DBL.
I cannot wait to get
share
this.
your passion for the power of magic. You can pick up a copy of David's new book, David Copperfield's History of Magic. You can get them wherever books are sold. Thank you so much, David.
Thank
have a
you,
great
David.
day.